Greetings, fellow Earthlings. Welcome back to Astrology Today. I'm your host, Mel Rose, and today is Friday, March 28, 2025. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for checking in on your regular current astrology. As you know, as above, so below, we look to the stars to give us a hint or a clue or an inkling as to what kind of energies are impacting us down here on Earth. And we use that information, hopefully, to navigate our own lives with more success and prosperity. That is the name of the game, friends, and I'm so glad you're here with me on this journey. The sun is in Aries, and the moon starts in Pisces today, moving on into Aries this afternoon. Tomorrow will be the new moon and solar eclipse in Aries. A moment of fiery initiative and changes is baked into the beginning of our creative cycle here at the beginning of spring. And I say changes because there is a partial solar eclipse just a couple of hours before the new moon. Stateside, it's happening very early in the morning, so I don't expect to see it here in the US, but it is the second of two eclipses in 2 weeks, winding up the first eclipse season of this year. Eclipses bring change, sometimes drastic. And heaven knows we are seeing some of that these days in our own lives and on the level of the collective. To have this eclipse taking place in Aries indicates some changes or interruption in the way we make progress. Aries ruler Mars is still in Cancer, which is an uncomfortable fit where Mars wants to take initiative and do actions that represent progress, but Cancer doesn't really allow for directness, preferring defense and making lateral moves. Look at your chart, please. Know in what house you will find the sign Aries. Each house relates to an area of your life, and where this eclipse happens at 7 and 8 degrees of Aries, that is the area of your life where this sense of frustration and false starts may arise. I invite you to be as patient with yourself as you are being with others, and to be patient with others as well. Now, while looking at your chart, also make note of Pisces and which house it occupies. That will be the sign one back from Aries. Most of our planets right now are in those two signs, and a couple of them are even crossing the line this week. The cusp of Pisces to Aries is very active this weekend. For example, Venus has just moved back across that cusp into Pisces this Thursday. Today, the moon moves forward across that cusp into Aries. Tomorrow, Mercury moves backward across that cusp into Pisces and then meets with Neptune, the king of illusion. And this Sunday, Neptune moves forward across that same cusp into Aries. If it feels like the water keeps rising and then receding in different parts of your life, you are not alone. And if it feels like you're ready to get going, but something keeps holding you back, you are also not alone. We've been talking about this shifting back and forth between fire and water vibrations. We've discussed how this can make things feel competitive. And I just want to remind you that you don't have to rise to every challenge. You may find competitive feelings arising in yourself or those around you. And it's very important right now to be choosy about the battles you take up. It will be key not to overburden yourself with tasks that you didn't need to take on, all right? Mercury's retrograde back into Pisces this weekend puts them back in their detriment. Joining up with Neptune, combined and under pressure, I expect the confusion to be popping. It's a bit of a turning point where some of us are going to wake up to our illusions and others will be driven deeper into them. Ask yourself how you want to respond when you find out you've been fooled or you've been fooling yourself about something. Neptune's ingress into Aries represents the beginning of a new 14 or 15-year period, but this too may feel like a sense of progress falling on a false start because Neptune will turn retrograde in September and return to Pisces in October, only to return to Aries next year. So like I said, we're moving back and forth across this cusp really all year. At any rate, notice what changes in terms of how art and spirituality and your own idealization of things are expressed as we exit Neptune in Pisces and enter Neptune in Aries. I expect that subtle and feeling ways of connecting to the world are going to become less subtle, more obvious and assertive. As I said, this week is just packed with action around that Pisces Aries cusp, and it's an important point on the zodiac, not just the beginning of a month, but a season, not just the beginning of a season, but a whole year. And this time, not just the beginning of a whole year, but the beginning of a 15-year transit. If it feels like a lot of information and speculation vying for our attention, that's because it is a lot. So do yourself and everyone else a favor and don't rise to every challenge. Don't indulge competitiveness about things that don't matter in the long run. Choose your battles based on what you know you're going to need. And remember, there's power in allyship right there. Pluto in Aquarius, power in allyship. Look to your social and civic compatriots. Work together to fight the fight you're most serious about. It's that kind of year, friends. We are all in this together, and we're going to need everyone to show up who can. That's all I have for today. You can catch Jennifer and I live right here this Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, where we will discuss the astrology of the week ahead and much more, including a live tarot card reading. And I will be back next Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. with more Astrology Today updates. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you all in the next video.